Hello students, welcome back to political science and we are with outcome of democracy. Let's take up the new topic, economic growth and development. See, how you rate democracy on the basis of economical development? आपका आंसर होगा not so good and I will say yes, not bad, right answer. But then, do you think economical development of a country only depends on the kind of government you have? Then there is a question, because there are a variety of things which you need to consider for your economical development. Not only government can be held responsible for your lack of economical growth or slow economical growth or boom in economical condition of a country. So what are those conditions? Your population size. माशाल्लाह हमारी population बहुत बड़ी है. Global situation. Currently we are doing good in this. Cooperation from our neighbors. Very bad. हमारे बहुत अच्छे दोस्त हैं हमारे अगल बगल में, चाइना, पाकिस्तान, इवन बांग्लादेश, नाउ नेपाल टू. सो आप देख सकते हो कैसा कोऑपरेशन है. इकोनॉमिकल प्रायोरिटी अडॉप्टेड बाय आवर कंट्री. वी आर एन एग्रेरियन कंट्री, एग्रीकल्चर वाला नेशन है और फिलहाल थिंग्स आर नॉट गोइंग गुड फॉर द फार्मर्स. ये सारी कंडीशंस पे डिपेंड करेगा आपका इकोनॉमिकल ग्रोथ एंड देन आपका डेवलपमेंट. अगर इकोनॉमिकल बढ़ रही है तो फिर डेवलपमेंट होना ही होना है. Then why do we blame that democracy is not doing good? Because you have this right to speak and criticize democracy. ये सबसे बेस्ट पॉइंट है. मुझे बोलने का तो हक है तो मैं बोलूँगा. याद है ना, राइट टू फ्रीडम एंड स्पीच. दैट्स इट. अब आगे बढ़ते हैं, देखते हैं. सी, देयर इज अ सिग्निफिकेंट डिफरेंस इन द रेट्स ऑफ इकोनॉमिकल डेवलपमेंट इन डेमोक्रेटिक फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट एंड डिक्टेटोरियलशिप. Actually, it's not that big. If you see current situation, and if I talk about dictatorial form of government and a democratic form of government, in your textbook you have a pie chart and a graph which is showing who is doing better. A table is there. If I see there is a negligible difference between a poor democratic form of government and a poor country who is under dictatorial rule, तो बहुत negligible difference के लिए क्या मैं dictatorial form of government को पसंद करूँगा? नहीं, क्योंकि I don't know what's going to happen with me. If I am minority, I am more scared. So there are several reasons why we are preferring the democratic form of government over dictatorial form. And keeping that chart in mind, we are again putting certain points to have this answer at one place. See, dictatorial regime, as we said, they are slightly better, but not as good as people are expecting, or democracies are not that bad as they've been portrayed. There can be a very high degree of inequality within democracies. Yes, it is. There are certain states are very poor, certain regions are very backward, but then overall if we see, the progress is acceptable, we can say. Not comparing with dictators, because dictators, see, they show their economy developing at rate. That rate is not as great as they claim. The achievements of dictatorial government is not as great as they claim. There is often inequality of opportunities available to poor sections of the society. This goes with every form of government. So you cannot neglect democracy on the basis of this, because it's happening everywhere. So only one point that keeps it associated with democracy is it's people's government. Now the next topic relevant to the previous one, what we have done. Reduction of inequality and poverty. So if my government isn't doing that great in reducing the poverty or in economical growth and development, so they won't stand good in reducing the poverty or inequality. Because अगर आपकी economical growth होगी तभी आपका flow in money होएगा, तभी standard of living बदलेगा. अगर आपकी economical growth ही नहीं है उतनी अच्छी जैसे कि आप बता रहे हो, तो सीधी बात है कि inequality रहेगी society में और poverty भी होगी. See, small number of ultra rich in democratic form of government or in any form of government, they enjoy position and status in society. Problem is ज़्यादातर शेयर उन्हीं का होता है. Like in they say 20% of the population of the world who are rich owns the 80% of the wealth of the world, and the 80% of the people who are poor owns that remaining 20%. And there are n number of facts. If you take out the wealth of first 20 people, जो 20 richest men in the world हैं, आप उनकी wealth लोगे, I guess that is equivalent to the rest of the people. तो आप सोच सकते हो कितनी बड़ी inequality है. And herein, why to blame only democracy? But yes, We are democratic form of government. So let us rectify it and find out why it is happening. They are saying those at the bottom strata, poor people, have very little to depend upon. In actual life, democracies do not approach to be very successful in reducing inequality and poverty. More and more policies they come up, but the fruit of those policies is actually taken up by whom? The richer section of society. So this gap between the rich and poor is increasing. Government is trying very hard to actually bridge this gap, but the success seems to be far and slow. Let's move ahead and talk about a very important topic, accommodation of social diversity. As soon as this topic comes, people go back to the very first chapter, power sharing. And there they talk about, oh, accommodation, Belgium things comes to their mind, but this is very different. But yes, you need to remember those example of Sri Lanka and Belgium in this part. तो मैं आपको बहुत clear कर देता हूँ. यहाँ पे when they talk about accommodation, they will be very clear with their question. Social diversity होगा. So are we diverse? Yes, we are. Was Sri Lanka diverse? Yes, they were. So was Belgium. तो कैसे accommodate की diversity और कैसे democracy stands better? Answer is very simple. Answer is in Belgium. They were democratic form of government. They discussed, debated, and they came up with a solution. People are living peaceful and harmonious life. What about Sri Lanka? उन्होंने वैसा नहीं किया. Though they claim to be democratic, but उन्होंने वैसा नहीं किया. और उनकी conditions आप जानते ही हो, civil war. So herein we are going to talk about the same topic, and they say, see, no society in the world can permanently resolve the conflict. अगर आप diverse हो, तो conflict होगा. If there is a minority and majority, there are chances of conflicts. But then, there is no proof that this form of government or that form of government is able to give a final solution to these kind of conflicts. Yes, negotiations happen and then a solution comes up which is acceptable by masses, especially the minority. Keep that in mind. Now see, when we talk about democracy, democracy has the ability to handle such kind of conflicts in a very different way and in a better way. They simply actually have a competition among these races and diversities, and because of that competition they tackle these issues जो कि बाकी गवर्नमेंट से थोड़े ज़्यादा अच्छे से हैं. And that's the reason why peacefully, harmoniously people are living in democratic form of government. दो पॉइंट्स हैं जो टेक्स्ट बुक कहती है आपके, they are in two red dots which are very very important. These are the two conditions to achieve the outcome of accommodation of social diversity. अगर आपको accommodation करना है social diversity का, तो democracy must fulfill these two conditions. So what's the condition? First condition, majority should always need to work with the minority so that government functions to represent the general view. Simply, majority should always make rules and regulation keeping minority in mind. Then chances of conflicts are absolute zero. A question comes, who actually the majority is? They are saying rule by majority does not mean that it's a rule of a caste or a creed or a race. Majority, the one who wins the seat. So no one is permanent winner, no one is permanent loser. ये चीज़ आप ध्यान रखिए डेमोक्रेसी में, और ये दो कंडीशंस अगर आपने फुलफिल कर दी तो फिर आप बहुत अच्छे से डाइवर्सिटी को एकोमोडेट कर सकते हो, और यही दो कंडीशन है जो कंट्री में पीस लेकर आएंगी. नाउ गांधी ऑलवेज सेड वन थिंग, दैट politics cannot be kept out of religion or religion cannot be kept out of politics. He never wanted to say that governance should be done on the basis of politics, on the basis of religion. He wanted to say that take up the ideas, ideology and values from your religion and bring those things into politics, then the governance will be good and acceptable by the masses, keeping minority in mind, because no religion in the world ever talks about suppressing anyone. So if these values we take, then the governance is good and accommodation is absolute easy. Keeping the same thing in mind, we have another topic, dignity and freedom of citizen. So dignity is respect, and how free are we in our country as in democratic form of country? If I talk about this topic, I just need to keep two things in mind or two sections in mind, women and untouchables. So if I am a woman in a country like India, I got right to vote, political equality since our constitution was framed, since we got independence. So I feel proud to be part of this country. I don't have restrictions like many other countries in West Asia have. They don't have right to vote, nor they can go out in the market, or they don't have that much of freedom into music and art, but we have it. But then there are cases of atrocities against the women. Do law support it? No. So if atrocities are there against the women, they should come out and open. The law is behind them. लीगली कहीं पे उनको परेशान करने के लिए कोई सपोर्ट नहीं है, तो उनके साथ है गवर्नमेंट, एंड दैट इज व्हाई वी एज अ वुमेन फील प्राउड टू बी पार्ट ऑफ दिस नेशन एंड कंट्री. सिमिलर वे में इफ वी गो एंड टॉक अबाउट minority, SC, ST and OBC. See, we were neglected for longest period of time in our history. And you know how they used to treat us. When we say here we means SC, ST. Now I got equal right to vote. I got reservation of seat to bring me equal and reservation in every sphere. Also, the untouchability by the government is made crime. So if you are following untouchability, then you will be punished. It's an punishable offense. I feel proud to be part of a nation who is giving me equality. No, I don't feel proud that my people are being punished for doing something wrong. Yes, if they are doing something wrong and that is against me, I feel proud that my government is with me. That leads to that dignity what we are talking about. Also here, and need to understand, democratic examination never get over. Now they say in democracies their examination never gets over. Simple. You ask for one thing, government gives you that thing, and then you ask for another thing, and if there is something up and down, we criticize. But सबसे best thing, this line, people get this benefit, they will ask for more, but then the people complaining about democracy itself a testimony to the success of democracy. We demanded certain things, we got it, but we got it delay, so we will criticize. As soon as we get something, we'll demand something other. Government will try to give that thing and then we'll criticize the government. But what they are saying is, you criticizing your government itself talks about the success. Kaise? Okay. Try to criticize a dictator. You will get the answer. You, your family, everyone, including your society, might be killed. But what happens in democracy? No, you are utilizing your right to speech and expression and freedom. This is democracy, and that's why it is the best form of government. Please keep revising and keep smiling. Take care.